What is up, everybody? This is Sugi Crawler, and today I'm gonna be giving my first impressions out of the closed beta of For Honor, which will be later on released on February 14th for consoles and PC. And Uplay, obviously not on Steam, because after all, it's a Ubisoft game. And when For Honor was first unveiled on E3, I really didn't have very high expectations for the game. They were mostly showcasing online multiplayer play and nothing really of the single player, and I still haven't seen any single player footage, and I don't know if the single player campaign is going to be like really short, so you essentially will be probably paying for $60 for mostly a multiplayer game. And okay, so let's start with some of the aspects of the game. So a lot of people, when they first saw it, were drawing parallels with Dark Souls, and yes, they are a lot of similarities exist between the games, and but that's kind of like the human nature to always wanting to compare a thing to another. I mean, the combat system is actually a bit different. I mean, both of them have a locking system, both of them have heavy and light attacks, but in For Honor you don't really have magics. As you level up through the multiplayer, you get these sort of like abilities like arrows will fly out of the sky. Like these are like command abilities, and then there are like some passive bonuses like stamina boost and essentially like stuff like that. But the big differing point about the two is essentially that the blocking system. So in Dark Souls you have a blocking system, but in this one you have this sort of like a rock paper scissors blocking system, so you can block from left and right and up. So if the person attacks from the right and you block from the right, you will be blocking it. And then the system is really essential, like kind of like trying to think and doing mind games on which side you will be blocking. And then there will be a guard breaking ability, which is like I think you have something like that in Dark Souls, at least with the shield bash, but that's really different. And in this one it has bigger connotations to it. Also, you are able to push people to the water from a certain ledges or off the wall. Sadly, you can't do this on every point on the map, which is something that I don't like about the game. It offers different types of modes: 4v4, you have 2v2, and 1 versus 1. And when you go to 1 versus 1, you're gonna like just find some Dark Souls pros essentially camping there and just killing scrubs and just fucking around for the most part. But when you go to 4v4, it's like field fucking hockey. I mean, it's like 3 people ganging on a 1 person, and you can't really do anything because you're essentially stun locked. You can absolutely do nothing in that situation. The game also does feel a bit slower than Dark Souls 3. It's more like in the Dark Souls 2 level, I would say, in terms of the speed. But the animations and the graphics are very clutch, I have to say. I do like the art styles. As you level up certain different characters, I believe there are 12 different ones in the game, at least 12 different models. Certain have axes, spears, flails, swords, all types of things, and they're not. I think there are some damage differences between them, and there are some slight balance differences between each of the classes, which you can level up, and you're able to customize their look a bit too. But I do want to say that the game does get bit old very quickly. The game mode is this sort of like a control point, like elimination hybrid type of thing. It's okay. The 1v1 and 2v2s are essentially duels. And then they also seem to have another mode, but it's not released yet. I think it was called Quest or something. I would feel that maybe the game would have, like, 3v3 would be very interesting, or 5 versus 5. Then you have NPCs on the Dominion map, which is the 4v4, which is kind of interesting, and it gives a bit more interesting feel to it. But I have to say that, the game doesn't look good. It's not very clunky or anything. The music, I don't really remember any of the tracks, to be honest, at this point. There was some connection issues when I was playing. Maybe it's because of the closed beta spikes, but I will not be buying this game because I don't think it's $60 worth. Just mainly on the reason that I don't have any idea like how big of the single player is, and I believe it's not gonna be a big single player. and this multiplayer just gets old. It's kind of like trying to be Call of Duty, of with kind of like a mix of chivalry and Call of Duty, I guess. Um, it's okay game, I think it is, but I think this is gonna be flop. I don't think this will be really big. I think people will get really bored to it really quickly, and it doesn't help the fact that it's Uplay exclusive. But maybe on consoles it could sell. It's a perfect console game, to be honest, if it's running on high FPS, which I haven't checked out because this is a PC-based review. And obviously they might be doing like awful DLC policies, you know, Ubisoft, so you don't really know what you're gonna be getting in the future. By the looks of it, there's not that many maps, and it's just the content doesn't seem to be like very. I don't know whether they're DLC and free LC content policies in the future, but it doesn't look very promising game for the long run. It doesn't offer that. Dark Souls has that leveling experience that makes it great, and the single player experience. This is just like PvP, only PvP version of Dark Souls with a different variety. I do want to say that they did a good work on the combat. It does have a lot of complex things to it, a lot of things that you can do on different strategies, but I have to say it does get a bit old after like few games. I was already like, okay, I'm done. Then again, I was a bit tired today, but whatever. Thanks for watching this video, but I'm just going to lean on not to buy, because this is pretty much probably the very same version that's going to be released. There's not going to be many differences within 2 weeks that they're going to be patching to make the game amazing. So this is pretty much a final product. So, I mean, there were very few bugs, but there were some online issues where people were disconnecting, and there were like sudden freezes, even though my internet was pretty good and my friend had other issues as well. But anyhow, if you're interested in Dark Souls 3 content and just sort of a crawler, and Neo obviously is something game that I will be buying into soon. So stay tuned and please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Cheers.